Welcome to the PalmCrest Shutdown Readiness program. This is a simple program designed to track shutdown preparation, measure progress, and manage action lists leading up to the execution of the shutdown. To start the process, we simply have to fill in three fields: the revision number or shutdown name in this field here, the shutdown date. I'll change this to the 10th of the 12th, and the length of the shutdown, 76, and it automatically places hours. From here, all we have to do is go to the detail page. The detail page is designed to show what happens or what is required for each key person during the 16-week planning horizon time of the shutdown. So for example, if I was the execution supervisor, I would be looking at what I should be doing in week 16 through to +2 and also during the shutdown. We have a chart on the right hand side and the steps that we need to cover on the left hand side. For example, attend weekly scope challenge meeting. I would simply select in week 16 and double click in the cell. If I haven't attended the meeting in week 13, I wouldn't fill it in. And obviously, I wouldn't go past week 8. Again, as I fill in what is required, everything for week 16 becomes 100% complete. If I've completed the tasks to 100%, you will also notice that the assignment for the entire planning horizon has also been completed. So what I'm looking for is compliance to the tasks that I have chosen to do in the time that I have planned to do them. If I've done all of these, I can simply carry the ticks across. You'll notice that there's no drop-down menu. We've made it very easy by just double-clicking, and it gives us a result. So again, if I now am the scheduler, I would click on the schedule button, and again I would go through the same process, and I would say I've attended these meetings and I'm compliant to week 8. Week 7 through to +2 has not yet happened. And one more, if I was the permit coordinator, then I would tick in what I've completed. Okay, so once I've done that, I can also scroll up and down if I wish, but it's quite easy just to click on the appropriate stakeholder for the shutdown process. Not only do we have direction in the 16-week process on the left-hand side as per key stakeholders, but we may also have certain actions that we need to complete and record or assign to people. So for that purpose, we can go to the action register. If we click on the full list button, we will simply be able to find a space to enter a new action. So in this case, I'm going to put a new action in. It's medium. It may come under the heading of mobile equipment. The date that I'm putting it in, which is the 18th to the 10th in this case. The area, HP1, and it might be contact ABC cranes for quote on 400-ton crane. Now typically these things might happen anyway, and they might happen in your notepad or Word document or whatever the case may be, but the idea is to have them all here, because if I have them here I can say, well, when does this need to be organised by? And I can go, this needs to be organised 50 days out from the shutdown. So rather than worry about what date I need to put in here, I'm just going to put in 50 and hit enter, and it says I have 6 days left to organise this. I'm going to assign that to MB, and you can now see it's on alert because it has less than a week to go. I have some open actions. I'm going to close this action here. So closed and closing comments. Now my actions are a little muddled up, so now that I've got some new actions and I've closed some actions, I'm simply going to hit prioritize. And what that does is it puts everything in chronological order. The nice thing about the action list is that every time I do a shutdown, I can review the action list, I can update it without having to delete everything. I may only delete 20% and I would add back 20%. Thus I'm not going over the same old stuff every time I plan for a shutdown, every 14 or 16 weeks or whatever the case may be. Okay, once we've finished updating our action list and we've updated our details, we can go to the progress of the shutdown readiness package itself. This is a printout version that you would send to management, and in here it has all the key metrics. For example, the shutdown revision name has been carried forward, the start date, the duration, how many weeks out, how many days left we have. Our target for readiness is 32%, and we're currently 31%, so slightly behind target with a 1% variance. Scope freeze is on the 29th of October, the Gantt freeze the 26th, all parts ordered are at 59%, and as we've updated all the other key metrics, inductions, isolations, equipment hire and so on, will all be updated accordingly. The detail that we've checked on the detail page has been carried through, showing what percentage we are complete for the key stakeholders, execution supervisor, planner, electrical and so on. We can see across the top that are in the high 90s, but haven't quite finished off some of the actions. For example, the permit coordinator wasn't available on week 14 or on week 11, and some partial completion has been done by the shutdown manager on 15, 13 and 11, and so it starts to show our overall progress. The actions that we've listed are showing that 34% of them are closed. However, a large percentage is still open and some are overdue, and this is all of our overall actions. We have a simple S-curve of what we need to achieve and what we're currently achieving, so we're not too far off the mark. The nice thing about this is the overdue action list prints itself on this particular report, so it doesn't show all the actions but just the overdue actions. As we go down to page 2, we can see what the planner, logistics supervisor, execution supervisor and so on should be doing and where they're at in terms of on track. So execution has dropped off a little bit and everything else seems fairly good. Shutdown managers missed a few items and is a little bit behind according to his target. We can then go to a overall view, which is a large landscape view to be printed out and put onto the notice board in the planning office when we're holding our weekly meetings. There is other areas of shutdown readiness which this video will not go into right now, such as risk assessment, budget and sign off, but essentially we're looking at how to get started by filling in the front page, going to the detail, ticking off the requirements that are set out in who, when and what in the detail page, going to the action register, fulfilling all of our actions, and then reviewing the work in our shutdown report before we print this and send it to management on a weekly basis. So that's shutdown readiness. Quick start. Hope it's informative and I hope it helps you get started.